Good evening, Rainbow Gang. Here's Paul, your sometimes host and manservant, with you today. Early November, our Hurricane Irma debris is just about deleted from the entire yard. We're looking a little bare, but we're also looking less storm-tossed, if you will. So happy about that. We should be seeing things look well. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when Christmas and January come along. In our area, that's kind of when the trees are at their most dormant, so they can bloom anew in late March and early April. Well, if we have new leaves on the trees that happen now, I'm not so sure that they're coming off and that they'll send another new crop of foliage in the spring again, or are these it? I'm kind of tending to think that's it, because they're dropping all their old crinkled leaves from the storm and putting out new fresh green leaves. This is one particular tree called the elephant apple. I noticed that just today, and this is now a month after the storm, that there's a lot more debris that had fallen. Old crusty leaves and new leaves on the tree look real nice. So we'll see. I'll report to you. I want to do some photos when things are looking a little bit better. You know, we could have shown you all the destruction. I couldn't get into that, actually. But things are under the control of nature now, and some competent people that I have working with me, and I think we're going to do fine. Wow, hasn't it been a week of news? Ridiculous, amazing. What can I say? Is anybody safe from sexual harassment these days? I mean, there's so many people being dragged out of the closet, so to speak, or in the case of women and Harvey Weinstein, you know, the sleaze factor has never been so exposed. I'm really surprised that all these things occur. We haven't talked about the seamy side of Hollywood, but, you know, of course, you always knew there were people that had to sleep their way to a career. But now the tables are turned, and the sleepy seems to now finally say, gee, you know, maybe this wasn't such a great idea. I'm not doing anything in particular with my career. What do I've got to lose? I'll go ahead and mouth off and say something about the perpetrators. Not that these guys that did actually carry about the sexual harassment to either men or women, that's besides the point. I mean, that's just plain old sleaze, and they should definitely be dealt with in a legal manner with that, because yes, you just don't do that. And Kevin Spacey, I mean, I liked him as an actor. I thought he was wonderful, but I think his moral standing sucks, and I don't think that he doesn't realize what he did those many years ago. I think he would have liked to have this guy forget about it. Maybe he was hoping he was drunk and, you know, that it all went to pass in a very benign sense. But I just, you know, that's not the time and the way to come out. Everybody knew, or in the business, everybody knew Kevin Spacey was most likely gay, but I mean, he used his power to influence people who try to get into the biz. He just started to grab, and I'm not, you know, I didn't hear all of his side of the story, but that was not the time to say I'm a gay man, and I've really enjoyed my relationship with many men over the years. Okay, we knew that, but that's also saying you're a gay man and you do prefer to fondle underage people, and it's just, I don't know what he could have been thinking of, and I don't want, if he had an attorney who told him to say that, I can't imagine what he was thinking of, but it just doesn't make sense. You apologize for your behavior and leave it at that, and at some future date when things start to settle down a little bit, he could have done, and I believe he did do, saying, if I did do this, I'm horrified, I'm paraphrasing of course, and that I hope that I didn't cause any irreparable damage to this intern. Well, I don't know. I think the kid who's probably now about 20, 22 is fine, and I think Harvey Weinstein's difficulties in Hollywood brought about these spurious suits among other people. I said, why not? The social media out there that's eating it up. These periodicals, at the groceries checkout, such as the Weekly World News and the Examiner and the National Enquirer, that say, "Oh, yes, give me all the details, give me all the details." And I'm sure they were paid relatively well for that, but I can't see that. I just can't see it. It's just the sleaze factor makes me want to. Yeah, it stinks. But this is a whole new way of doing things. We make everything public via the social media venues, and whether there's veracity to the story or not, our ears are flapping to find out all the details about what's going on with these people, and just salivating over the juicy, gory stories that they have to tell. It's going to cost Mr. Spacey some jobs. It's going to cost him, well, he says he's going for rehab. And it shouldn't be because of his gayness. It's probably, if he's going at all, and I don't know if he is, but he says that he's going to seek help. Maybe he is a sex addict and he repressed it, but so many years have passed, and he could have done something about it, while he was involved with this behavior. I'm assuming that he has gotten a lot more conservative. His parts have gotten a lot more meaty. He's getting great parts in Hollywood. Well, I'm kind of trying to think now whether he deserves them, and not so sure that he does. I don't think I like to admire that kind of person on the screen, and I think Kevin needs to go away for a while and not be in our faces, 'cause I don't think that's the kind of representation I want to know. If an advertiser looks at this site and says, "Yeah, I like it, but how many people are they reaching?" That's a problem. So keep that in mind. There's nothing not noticed here, which I guess that's a double negative, so it means everything is noticed here. We have nothing to do but notice. So please, pretty please, with chocolate sprinkles on top, and then whipped cream and a cherry. Your subscriptions are everything. Your views are everything. Your shares are everything, and your likes and dislikes are everything. Just be honest and be able to adopt us as you've adopted so many other good YouTube sites in the past. I like to think that we are in that category, and I like to think that the insight of someone who's just a wee bit older, venerable old Paul and his sidekick Brad, that we can give you a good time, we can help you feel better about yourselves, you can help us feel better about ourselves. We're building a family. This family wants to be loved. This family deserves